Hi YouTubers, hi, I'm back with 25 books of 2025. Quiz in 2024 in Great Yarmouth. And can I just say one thing? As someone who is basically an expert in the film Beauty and the Beast, okay, I quote the film, I quote the commentary, I've seen every single version, I've seen it on stage, okay? So, I love Beauty and the Beast. It's a fantastic fairy story and a very great Disney film, by the way. So, can I say for the record, this is one of the most boring books I've ever read in my entire life. And I've read a lot of books. Right, so Rebel Rose. Right. The curse is broken. Now Belle must rise to become queen. It's by Emma Theriault. Okay. Oh, right. That's what I'm going with. Theriault. The author's name is not on the main book. It's the first of a series called The Queen's Council, which you think would be interesting, but no, because it's boring. Okay. The blurb is long. It's 1789, which by the way is when the French Revolution started. And France is on the brink of revolution. Yep. Bella has broken the Enchantress curse, restoring the beast to his human form and bringing life back to the castle in the principality of Aveyon. But in Paris, the fires of change are burning, so in a matter of time before the rebellion rises on their doorstep. Not so long ago, Belle dreamed of leaving her poor provincial town for a life of adventure. Now she finds herself living in a castle torn between her past as a commoner and her future as a royal. With violent factions looking to take control and a magic mirror that holds a dire warning, events threaten to overcome her. With everything she loves at risk, Belle must embrace her own strength and become the queen she is meant to be. Right, here you go. And so the new series imagines Disney princesses and rules in her own right, woven together through history by a mystical force known as the Queen's Council. Okay, so, and I hated it because it's so boring. It is so boring. Okay, I starts off with the curse. Okay, the enchantress is making a curse. She's not an enchantress, but you know she goes. People call me that. Absolutely fine. Not as bad as one that I did last year, which I just actually recently did. Where actually Belle's mother was the enchantress. Here you go. Aurelia had come to the castle cloaked in the skin of an old beggar woman. She cast a pitiable figure by design, hooded, wrapped in rags, and soaked to the bone by the sleet that fell like daggers on the blackened sky. Blessed with foresight as she was, Aurelia had never been so haunted by a vision. A bloody revolution was coming for France as it come for America, and one day come for the Russian Empire. Death was marching for so many thousands of people, but she would have no choice but to spare the people of Aveyon. Okay, so that was why she cursed the beast. Basically, that was why she cursed the beast to essentially, and I never thought I'd say that, basically save him from the revolution, the revolutionaries. Yes, so everything that everyone went through, okay, including Chip, okay, was to in the end save Aveyon. Here you go. As she left the castle after she, did her curse and turned these servants into objects. Yeah, cheers for that. As she left the castle, Aurelia was perceived by a flickering vision of a girl in a blue dress with a white muslin apron wearing a crown on her head. Sometimes the girl's body was burned, sometimes it was whole. The intending was to think for her to read clearly. Too much could change before he'd come to it. But the crown on the girl's head told Aurelia that she had to at least achieve what she'd come to, so he'd come to the castle to do. He set them on the path. Belle and the prince would have to do the rest. So then, okay, it cuts to 10 years later, okay, so July 1789. And Belle and the prince, again, the now human prince, he's just been turned back and he's going to Paris to actually meet King Louis and Marie Antoinette and those kind of things. Right, here you go. And in this, okay, Cogsworth isn't there, Lumiere is there, and he's the only member of the household who actually is. Right, here we are. This is Paris. This is Paris. The bridge team with people of all sorts, Valescas with their stalls of old books and pamphlets, mountebanks on rise platforms hawking their vials of curatives, jugglers doing their best impression to depress the gazettes on the way home after a hard day's work. So Belle's watching this in absolute fascination, okay? Now Belle is actually from Paris, okay? And then she moved to Aveyon, that's where, so this is her old home. Much of a homecoming. Here you go. But she drank the city is, scarcely able to contend with everything happening outside the carriage. You know, they say the police, no, a man has left Paris. You haven't seen him cross Point Neuf in 3 days. Oh, Lee was absent-minded and still, preferring to sit back and let Paris pass him. Here you go. Right, so his name is Leo. In this, his name is Leo. Now, his actual official name, as I've mentioned along this time, okay, is Adam. Disney did a CD-ROM game back in the 90s that said his name was Prince Adam. That was the right answer. Okay? All the wikis give his name as Prince Adam. Paige O'Hara has said his name is Prince Adam, and you do not argue with Paige O'Hara, she's the actual voice of Belle. Okay? In this, no, his name's Leo. He gets his name is Leo, not Adam. Because just call him bloody Adam. That's his name. Okay? Hey, it's Disney. They're the one who did it. Stay YP. There you go. But the thing is now, okay, that the beast had proposed to her in a library, and she said yes. And now, okay, she's a princess, and she doesn't really want to be. There you go. Now the curse was far behind them, and while Belle did not regret choosing Leo, she had entirely realised the consequences of that choice. She imagined her life spent in a castle, the duties that came with marrying the prince. But she and Leo need to build a life together, and Paris was to be the first stop of their grand tour of Europe the Belle always dreamed of. Here you go. Because I've had a course, we moaned the time wasted and see an escort prince touring the continent, but Belle was adamant to see everything before she could, for the wheels Leo's castle closed around her for good. There you go. She did one bit of adventure, okay? And then, okay, that's she's going to visit the beast's cousin Sebastian, who they haven't seen in 10 years, clearly because he was cursed. They're about the same age. And the excuse is that where have you been for the last decade? I was ill, I was unwell. Belle essentially took care of me, and that's how we fell in love. That's the story that they're going with. And when it came to Leo being the beast's name, remember his name is Prince Adam, right? No, apparently his name isn't even Leo, but it's the name of case his nickname. So what is his name? Leonardo? Louis? But his name's Louis. There you go. Right. Abandon the name my father given me, refusing to be everything other than Leo. Did I tell you that why he used to call me that? From birth, my mother called me her petite lion shell, her little lion cub. The expressions are half a smile, half a glimpse. Only my father had ever called me by my real name. Over time it was shortened to Leo. So what is his actual name then? Leonardo? Louis? Right. Right. To go about anything else, like I was just honoring my mother. Right. Because he was very close to his mother. Right. And when it comes to meeting Sebastian, meeting the Duke de Vincennes, okay, that's Leo. God, the beast cousin. Oh yeah, he's all pompadour, he's all pompous ceremony, okay, and wigs and stuff like that. Here you go. Right, emerging from within was a man who could only be the Duke de Vincennes. He cast a wealthy figure. His wig was curled and powdered, the same pale white as his skin, but for lace curls pushed out of his salmon velvet overcoat. An elaborate embroidered collar reached high up on his neck, and his grey knee breeches gave way to cream-coloured socks. Here you go. So basically, he's all pomp and primp and ceremony, that kind of stuff. And you would think, okay, that naturally Leo and Belle are going to go to Versailles. I was looking forward to this. Oh my God, can you imagine, okay, Belle and Marie Antoinette in the same room, okay, all that pomp and pompadour and that kind of stuff. Belle being out of her depth of being able to hold her. Remember, this is Belle. This is Belle, okay, after she was frightened by the beast, after she almost touched the rose, run out, got attacked by wolves, and then when the beast was regaining consciousness, stood up to herself, okay, and her hair looked great in that scene, by the way, okay, and held her own. This is Belle. Oh, no, 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 no. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen, okay? But when Sebastian says, well, Belle would not belong in the court, okay? And here you go. I mean, no offence, Belle, but you not belong in King Louis's court. The courtiers will sniff you out your weakness and spoil them if we even have a chance to curtsy. Belle nodded, but Leah was indignant. Belle can do whatever she pleases. If anyone has a problem with her, they can answer to me. Right? And all of the king cousin, do you forget that your duty as a princeless stranger was to marry by political gain and not love? Were you all but betrothed to a lesser husband from birth? Oh, that was interesting. Hey, can you imagine? Okay, oh hold on, the beast was already betrothed. Okay, and that who is this person? Who is this person? We never know. We never know. And the thing is this: when Belle is out in Paris, it's a centre of revolution in the air. Things happen. It's not safe. She doesn't feel welcome. And even at a party, okay, Bastien throws, okay, it's fact is that, of course, now that she's married to a prince, okay, or a principality like Avalon, right, or Aveyon, sorry, it's Belle's being paraded around, okay, and she's being put, okay, in the costumes and the wigs and the flaunts and the pompadour, that kind of stuff. Remember, this is 18th century Paris, okay, and Bastien paraded Belle around as an exotic animal, introducing her as a commoner turned princess, evidently novelty none the guests ever encountered before, explaining to them that she was not, in fact, the princess proved tedious, but in married to a prince who marked a woman with deep rouged cheeks. And indeed I am, but I'll take a title when I'm married. Why not? That's something I ever desired, Belle offered weakly. No nobleman did not care to know the true complexities of Belle's feelings on the matter. I am unclear of Belle's feelings on the matter. Why not? You are a prince married to you're married to a prince, you are a princess. That's it. That is it. But he's like, no, I'm not going to be a princess, I'm just going to be Belle. Okay, so it's the king and Belle, his wife Belle. Not a duchess, not Lady Belle, not that kind of stuff, just Belle. okay, because she doesn't want to be a princess, okay. But the thing is, Belle needs to find something to fill up her time, okay, and I found this so tedious because this book is so boring. So once Belle is a plan to do, okay, what's she going to do, okay, for her people now that she is now, well, not titled yet, still Princess of Avalon because she's married to the prince. There you go. And right, Belle's planning to hold a series of salons, said Leo, appearing out of nowhere to fill the silence. It had been that first promise to her in those wild days were after they broke the curse, when talked feverishly about their most cherished dreams and whispered their deepest fears to each other. But then Belle's only fear had been her own ignorance. She told herself she was to travel to Paris and attend a salon herself, and perhaps one that courted some of her favourite philosophers and encyclopedists along its members. Basically, they were gatherings of people of intellect which come together, okay, and talk and share information and ideas. That's the plan. That's the idea. So Belle's going to host a salon. That's her goal. She wants to invite the best of people, okay, to attend these and share ideas. That's the thing. But then when Belle is walking the centre in Paris, the centre of revolution in the air, she comes across a shop and basically meets the Enchantress, who presents her with a mirror and gives her, a glimpse of the future. Okay, glimpse of the future, and it freaks Belle out. Of course, here you go. People marching. This is when Belle looks into this mirror and asks, "Show me my future." Yeah, people keep marching on the walls with torches in their hands, screaming for blood. It was worse than when she had watched the people of her village mob the castle to kill the beast. The villagers were affected with fear and they hadn't known. They marched on their prince, but in the vision, Leo's own people were bent on destroying him. Here you go. So, unless, okay, they quell the revolution, okay, unless they quell the revolution, it's game over for them, and they're all gonna suffer greatly. So, that's the thing. Actually, at this point, also, Belle actually sees someone be beheaded in Paris, right? A traitor be beheaded. So, which is actually one point which actually passes out Sebastian protects saves her from that. So, also one thing I will give this, it doesn't really hold back, showing that the beast, due to the fact that he was cursed from the age of 11 until 21, actually has PTSD because of this. As you can imagine, he has nightmares. He has nightmares of the fact that he's going to wake up and it's all been a dream, and Belle is, Belle's not there. He's going to be the beast, and all his objects are still trapped. That's the thing. The last petal's fallen, kind of thing. Here you go. Leo was taken by a nightmare. It had been many weeks since his last one, but Leo had gone through some sort of turmoil that day when I frightened him enough to dredge bad memories to the surface. She reached out of instincts and he wrestled in her grasp. The room was dark, but she could make out his body from the moonlight peeking in from a crack in the curtain. He held his head in his hands, his back doubled over in pain. She didn't know if he was awake or dreaming, so it was impossible to tell. Leo's nightmares, the curse in the room broken. Right, so he has PTSD from this. He has PTSD from this suddenly thrust in this world, okay, of Paris. Right. And in the end, they decide to leave Paris. It's getting way too tense. Sebastian goes with them, okay? And then this is when the beast, after 10 years, calls his ministers, his advisors into action, okay, about what to do. And this is what they're going to do. Is imagine like Monaco, okay, which is separate, right? Is they're going to secede from France, and Prince Leo will become king. The order service be where basically Avalon, the area of Paris, so area of France, will become an independent nation. Right. That's what it's thinking. So basically, it's gonna be like Monaco about the tax write-offs. Here you go. Right. That's the idea. Okay. That's Bastian's idea. Okay, to save the thing. Bastian spoke slowly. Do you agree that Aveyon must secede from France and her husband must become king in order to best serve his people? There are 1,000 reasons to say no, but none of them had more weight than to say yes. I agree, she said, hoping the words didn't come off as reluctant as she deaf out. Cosworth caught her eye and gave her a reassuring smile. Not something he had seen him do since the days of the curse. Didn't fill her with confidence. Then it is done. Viva le roi. So that's it. Prince Leo is now king, but the thing is, Belle will not be queen at his side whatsoever. Belle will not be queen by his side, right? And due to all the unrest, okay, she has to stand there whilst he's crowned, right? And no one really understands the decision, because I don't bloody understand the decision either. I'm not reviewing this book. She's just too elected. She thinks she can best serve her people just being Belle. When here you go. And I understood that Belle would not be Aveon's princess. It seemed that most people accepted likewise she should not be their queen. Her humble beginnings helped most people understand why she might refuse a title as grand as queen. Either because of her threatened to resign over her decision. Right. End of the day, Leo's acceptance of her desire to remain a commoner was enough for everyone else, and her favour and pageantry surrounding the coronation was a balm to soothe any hurt feelings. Leo would be monarch enough for a whole kingdom. She didn't need to be queen. It will serve her people better by simply being Belle. By simply being Belle. Okay? So in all this, right, it's as soon as this is done and the beast is king, okay, hey, God, okay, remember what's the word? What's that TV show? Not Disenchanted. Um, so Descendants, Disney Descendants. Okay, they say call him King Beast. Okay, but this time he actually is king. Right, but the thing is, as soon as it's done, okay, Bastion is cousin. I urge you to embark on a tour of Aveon's estate as soon as you can. Despite little Belle cared for Tara's formalities, she thought the Duke of Always lacked a deference like a weapon. If your nobles are threatened with revolt, it's because they feel sighted and you view coronation as now in their coffin. So in all this, the advisors, a group of men, which Belle is now a part of, right, are going to stay, right, and basically do the, I guess, advisoring. Sebastian is also there. What they do is shut Belle out of meetings, that kind of stuff, because she's just Belle, I guess. Even though, okay, that if, she's titleless, maybe she was a princess, they'd have to let her through the door, but they basically shut the door to her and change around meetings, kind of thing. And in all this, Belle stays behind. And what Belle stays behind is this, with her friend Marguerite, who she met at that ball, first of all, who actually joins her, right? So Belle actually makes a friend, right, who joins her, okay? And the reason why Marguerite is there is because she's gay. That's why, okay, she left Paris gay, because she's gay. That's why, right? It's kind of brief, but whilst the Beast is on his journey around Aveyon, right, his tour, right, and Belle being shut out of meetings, what Belle does is start to catalogue the library and play with Chip, right, and it is actually mentioned, okay, with Miss Potts, is Chip having nightmares because the servants still are, at the time with the curse, and she's like, no, he's fine, and kids just get over it quickly, yes, I mean, Chip spent the first 10 years of his life as a cup, but yes, yeah, of course he would have PTSD. Right, that's what Belle does. That is what Belle does. Here you go. And one thing that really, really got me is this. Now, the famous bit, the mob scene. Davis to his dead, here comes stuck on us a nut, send a sucker for the children to his modest appetite. That was erased. When Belle was thinking, okay, about her hometown, where the Beast is actually going to visit, okay, which actually is close by Providence, and Pleasant, sorry. Here you go. It's I couldn't believe this. They had known him at all. Memories of the roles in the mob had been erased when the curse was destroyed, but Belle couldn't forget is why she hadn't been home since. Okay? So the actual mob doesn't remember. So did they sit to wonder, okay, how did Gaston die? Absolutely. Absolutely. And one thing though, as one actual line in this book I generally liked, okay, because that got to me, okay, as a reader, is when Marguerite is with Belle and they're going to catalogue the library, because the plan is to open the library to absolutely anyone who actually wants to read. Right, that's Belle's plan with her salon that she's planning. Yes, imagine, okay, little miss, I wanted adventure in the great wide somewhere. Well, she would have had that if she'd gone around the cave, her husband on his tour around the actual country, which is now, he's now king of. But no, she stayed behind, okay, fanning about in her library. That's the thing. And Margaret's reaction is, I never seen so many books in all my life. That's a line from the film. She turned to Belle and gave her a wide smile. Is it true your husband said he gave it to you during your courtship? A blush kept up her neck. She hadn't thought of her time in the castle's many things, but a courtship was never one of them. Something like that. She wondered if she ever felt close to Marguerite to tell her the truth. Well, no wonder you married him. Hey, if I was Belle, the film would have ended that there. Belle, me, this is your library? Dude, I love you. Curse broke. Me. Belle, I'm human. Me. That's nice. What's your favourite? So, here you go. But the thing is when she's getting letters back from Leo, it's just showing, okay, the political disturbance that's going on in his country, okay? Leo's very, very honest here about how unstable the actual world is. He's very, very honest about it. He even says this, right, because remember, he's been gone for the last decade. Is it a letter? They view my absence as a mock against me, and all truthfulness, how could I blame them for thinking so? My explanation only goes as far as winning back their allegiance, and the Fed's spreading revolution carries little meaning to these men, who see themselves safe behind these walls of their impregnable estates. For I need to sniff out which my noblemen plot against me, but in truth it could be any of them. such as their pessimism and suspicion in regard to my rule. But this bit here, she wanted to be by Leo's side as he struggled with the realities of ruining him in order to protect it, not shut up in the castle far away from him, unable to do any good. She was powerless, impotent, and ineffectual. But I wanted more than anything to know Leo was not being tortured by nightmares about her to help him through it. She chose to stay. She wanted to be by Leo's side. She made a decision. And also, it's mentioned by Sebastian, who's taken over these meetings, shutting Belle out of the narrative. Okay. Oh, Leo has a schedule. He's going to this place, to this place, to this place, to this place. He's got carriages and coaches. She's got Philippe the horse. Just go and meet him. Go and meet him there. But she doesn't. She just sits there fanning about her goddamn library. And I don't ever say that as a thing. And the thing is, Belle is so self-righteous. She thinks she's better because she's a commoner. When they're talking, okay, about commoners, commoners is mentioned a lot in this book, okay? And the thing is, Bastion's like, well, you're not a comet anymore. You're now married to royalty, so you quit the sphere, honey. But she's like, here you go. Right. I speak for myself when I say you're wrong. You forget that I am a commoner. I grew up in a poor village with people you seek to malign. I do not fear them in the same way. I fear a rich man who believes justice is a fluid concept and an instant it can be bought. Right. According to me as a courtesy, this is how I envision the salon. It would be beneficial for all the people of our kingdom. So you get the prestige raising the economy boosting aspects. Only now the doors are open for everyone. If you can't abide by that, I suggest you remain in your estates for the duration. Right, so the salon will invite absolutely anyone who wants to come. You share ideas on internet, there'll be food and that kind of stuff. So it'll be like a gathering. But the thing is this, it's okay, I don't mean to be mean here, okay, but Belle's like, oh excuse me, I was a commoner. Belle, when you're a commoner, you didn't actually have a job. Right, you didn't really work, did you? I mean, remember the opening scene, Belle? Everyone's too distracted by their actual jobs to engage her while she's just talking okay about books. Belle, I love Belle a bit. She's my favourite Disney princess. She has hazel eyes and curly hair like I do. Okay? Well, no, hers isn't curly, okay? Just kind of all over the place like mine is. Anyway, so, but the thing is this, okay? She doesn't really understand the people because she's always been arrogant about from the poor provincial town, okay? Absolutely poor provincial town. And the thing is this, right? It's when Belle actually has an encounter with the Enchantress, she's now actually got to save her kingdom, right? The kingdom. The Enchantress basically sets her straight on the path that she needs to take with her life. Here you go, right? He needed love, not a curse. I did what was necessary, and I lived the decision for 10 years. She sounded hurt, but I hoped she was, because a child was in order to transform it into something else, something worthy, was not something Belle would ever understand. Right. I know I was wrong. I've been haunted by a vision of Europe burning for a long time. Thousands dead, generations wiped out by reign of terror. The only time the vision changed was when I cursed him and saw you with a crown on your head. I don't want a crown. I never wanted one. I know, but perhaps it means better equipped than most to handle one. Okay? That's the thing, Belle. You've got no choice in this matter. You've got no choice. And then Belle is courtesy of Sebastian, okay? And also in teaming up with LeFou. LeFou's been in town, okay, rising up a revolt. Belle's actually kidnapped, okay? And the thing is this. Gaston died, LeFou remembers. When the curse wiped out everyone's mind, okay? And so when the break in the curse wiped out everyone's mind, LeFou remembered. He remembered everything, right? And LeFou thought he was going out of his mind, okay? But it's a bit okay, right? No one believed me when I told them what happened here that day. People called me crazy. I used to people laughing at me, dismissing me, but this time I knew what had happened. I had the body to prove it. You mean Gaston? You tried to kill Leo. Right. Right. Gaston fell to his death. Leo had nothing to do with it. But LeFou wasn't listening. His back was to her when he spoke. I watched the castle transform as if by magic back to its former glory. Waited for Gaston to emerge from within, but he never did. Hundreds of people did. Their minds wiped clean, but I remembered everything. Seen him up in that tower when the beast, but by the time I got there, he was gone. All the way down to the bottom of the gorge to find his body. Had to see it for myself. And there he was, broken but still beautiful. I lost everything that day, and I'm going to lose everything too. And by the way, LeFou's name is Hercule. His name is Hercule, like Hercule Poirot. Here you go. Hey, LeFou has a name. And also, okay, in this, it's Sebastian who's been eating up the revolt. His basically plan is to essentially kill off Leo and install himself as king of Aveyon. That's his plan, right? But in the end, LeFou jumps in front and actually saves Leo from a bullet. And so, well, I guess a musket. And so in the end, LeFou is pardoned, right? Because LeFou actually generally loved Gaston. LeFou loved the Gaston, and so here you go, right? And this bit again, this happened on page 375, right? Gaston fell into his right. LeFou remembers everything. Everything that cursed the beast Gaston. Gaston fell into his death. I don't know how, but he didn't save Leo today. He saved me. I know he deserves to be in prison for it. Now I had discussed the curse so directly since Belle and Leo destroyed it. Belle knew she was breaking unspoken rule among them, but after what happened under their Aveyon, she found herself willing to pretend everything was fine. Aveyon, sorry. So, in the end, Hercule LeFou is freed, given a pardon, and they here you go. Ends with Belle finally becoming queen. Belle didn't grow up wanting or wishing for a crown. In all her dreams, she left the kingdom she was born in, chasing adventures on an endless horizon. Having always been too small for her, too married to tradition, too quiet. So leaving to realize how very wrong she had been. Now she was to be queen. So she gets that crown on her head and she's now their queen. And they're going to rule as an independent. And guess when the French Revolution comes, they're going to be missed, kind of forgotten about how they were for 10 years. Various bits in this book, it shows the Beast King with PTSD. Leo has PTSD. He has nightmares. He basically, when he gets back to the castle, he sees a rose bush and freaks out because he wants all roses destroyed. Right, he's actually got to work on himself. Belle sees her husband having nightmares and she can't really do that. Belle not going to court made no sense, okay? Belle basically fannings about, okay, in her library, cataloguing it while things are going on. That is not the Belle I know. And this book was so boring. You think a book is set in the French Revolution would be interesting, but it was dull. It was a dull tone, it was a dull prose, and I hated it. No. Rebel Rose, Belle is not rebellious. The Belle I know would have gone to Versailles. The Belle I know, okay, would have curtsied in front of Louis whatever and Marie Antoinette. But she didn't, okay? She's just going to sit at home because, oh, they're just going to eat her alive because she's a commoner. Right. She's Belle, for God's sake. Right, so, no, I did not like this book one iota. So, the only bit I actually discussing, the fact is, okay, that poor Chip, he has nightmares, but he's coping with it better than everyone else because he's young. Yeah, he still was cursed for 10 years, honey. And I hated this book so much. Also, the implication, okay, that the the Enchantress was doing the Beast a favour by cutting him out of the narrative for the last 10 years. She cursed the servants. She cursed the castle. She cursed him. That was it? No, that's awful. No wonder I hate this book so much. I'm talking for way too long. Cover Books 2025 sign off. Bye now.